the end, they elect not to put the teenager on the stand and risk a tough cross-examination.
She suffered profound brain trauma. She doesn't remember the accident at all. Had they put her up on the stand, I think they would run the risk of her alienating the jury by not being able to offer any kind of explanation for what happened that night.
We're finished, Your Honor.
So the defense rests.
Ladies and gentlemen, the case is now submitted to the jury.
Justine's lawyers reject a last-minute prosecution offer of a lesser charge, one that could mean as little as a 4-year sentence.
Court is now in recess. The bailiff will conduct the jury to the jury room.
All along, they've gambled on an all-or-nothing victory. And now, two families wait. They would not have to wait long. After 4 hours, the jury is back.
The Honorable Catherine Curtis presiding.
The court clerk reads the verdict.
To the charge of deliberate homicide for the death of Aaron Thompson, guilty. To the charge of deliberate homicide for the death of Caden Odell, guilty.
The words echo in the courtroom. Justine's family breaks down. Aaron Thompson's too.
I think we all just cried.
It was relief that at least the truth was reached by the jury, but it was also sadness for her, for her family.
I think we all were just kind of needing this to be done, wanting the truth to be heard.
Ms. Winter, having been convicted of 2 counts of deliberate homicide.
In my 28 years as a prosecutor, it's been one of the worst cases I've ever dealt with. How easily it could have all been prevented.
A tearful Justine is led from the courtroom.
And they took her away and did not let her hug her family. It was, very, very sad.
One of the first things you said was you felt for Justine's parents.
It would be so painful for me for anybody to know that you'd caused the death of somebody. Having to face that, this is their baby girl, and that she is going to have to pay a consequence for this.
I am very, very sorry about it. We are. It's torn so much apart in our worlds, both worlds.
Her daughter now faces 100 years in prison for each count. But before being sentenced, the judge allows Aaron's grieving family to speak directly to Justine.
I want to see good things happen for you someday, but I think one of the biggest things of this you still have yet to grasp is the truth. This tragedy has been, without a doubt, the most life-altering, life-shattering, life-crumbling thing that has ever happened to our family.
Caden was, and you will never know how incredible he was. And you took him. You did it. And you need to own it. You killed my boy. You need to own it.
This family desperately wants something from Justine they've yet to witness.
The most important thing is to apologize. Show concern for what you have done and try to make amends. But have you ever once looked us in the eye, have shown and expressed even the slightest bit of sincere sorrow for everything that we've been through? We've waited and waited and waited for that.
Could that long wait finally be over? Before she hears her sentence, Justine speaks to Aaron Thompson's family for the first time.
No one will ever know.
I tell you I love you. My last words, I love you, Ryan. He responds, yeah, whatever you say, you win, I lose. With each minute, her texts turn more hysterical. If I won, I would have you, and I wouldn't crash my car. And this, it's ending. Bye, Ryan. On the dark road, there's construction, and the highway's now down to 2 lanes. As she nears the Stillwater Bridge, her teen romance spinning out of control, Justine is now barreling at 85 miles an hour. Just then, Aaron Thompson and Caden are coming the other way. Richard Pepple is right behind them. He'll never forget what he saw next.
I'm going, geez. What did I just see?
Did you have even time to sort of react?
I mean, it just exploded. Kaboom.
Pepple rushes to the tangled wreckage of the closest car. Justine Winters.
Her tongue had gone back into her esophagus. I just pulled that out, and then the white foam and the blood came out pretty profusely, and I didn't think she was going to make it.
He then races to the other car, where pregnant Erin and her 13-year-old son are trapped inside.
When I got there, I pulled the door open. She was trying to tell me something.
He would later wonder if she was struggling to get help for her son, buried in the wreckage.
It couldn't come out because her chest was so crushed. And I know she had internal injuries. And I held her hand and I said, "We got help on the way, just hang in there."
But she didn't.
Finally, she just blinked out.
I just all of a sudden had this dread that something was wrong. And I having to call up the hospitals or the police department and just try to find out if there was an accident.
Jason is finally connected to police.
And he said, "I so much didn't want to tell you this on the phone, but Aaron and Caden were killed in an accident." I've never been so wrecked. It's like I lost my heart, I lost my life, I lost my entire family.
Incredibly, Justine is alive. She's pulled from the wreckage, then airlifted to a Seattle hospital, her mother Mary by her side.
I don't know how many pints of blood they put on her. They worked on her the whole way there and pumped more blood in her. And I sat and rubbed her feet. I said, "We're fine, honey."
Back in Montana, Patrol Sergeant Ernie Freeberry begins the investigation.
So we had a lot of questions on why the Winters vehicle crossed the center line and hit the Thompson vehicle clear over in the far end of her lane. We didn't know why this happened. There had to be a reason.
So he questions Justine's boyfriend, Ryan.
He said that the two of them had been arguing all night and that Justine thought the two of them were going to break up their relationship.
Ryan admits he and Justine were exchanging heated texts in the minutes before the crash. Freeberry and county detectives examine them and see this one sent at 8:16. "That's why I'm going to wreck my car, because I'm a terrible person. I want to kill myself. Goodbye, Ryan. I love you." Just minutes later,
we had our first report of the head-on accident on Highway 93. Now we had a very clear answer. This is why it took place. She did just exactly what she said she was going to do.
Do you think she would have been capable of trying to take her life?
I think so, because when she started dating Ryan, she wasn't the girl that I knew. She wasn't the girl that I grew up with.
So there's no doubt in your mind that Justine meant to do this?
In my mind, yes. There's no doubt.
She's guilty of murder. Deliberate homicide.
longtime county attorney Ed Corrigan.
She purposely went into that wrong lane of traffic, ran into that car, and had to know or should have known that by doing so, she was going to kill the occupants in that other vehicle.
He decides to indict this 16-year-old as an adult with the most serious charge possible, 2 counts of deliberate homicide. But Justine has no memory of that night. After nearly 7 weeks in the ICU and multiple operations, she comes home to rehab and back to school wearing a neck brace and a court-ordered ankle bracelet.
She's not evil. She's a good girl. I know deep in my heart it was an accident.
Justine would never hurt another human being, and she wouldn't hurt herself.
Delisa Willis and her daughter Amanda have known Justine all her life.
I think that